Okay, I'm back. Oh, let's see how long it's going to take to get one or two people in here. Catherine, anybody here? Anybody here? I need a 5x5. Anybody here? Anybody here? Okay, well, I'll just start where I left off. Okay, I was talking about the Trump verdict, and YouTube just cut my feed off. I was doing good. Started talking about the Trump verdict. Oh, who do I got here? Can I get a 5x5, please? No, nobody's there. Anyway, thank you, Catherine. We're back. Hey, YouTube's already doing it. 3 people listening to me and they shut me down. My computer screen then all of a sudden went blank. And then something popped up. Just telling you, my computer screen all of a sudden it went blank. And then the little screen popped up, and then I got the message that I was buffering real bad. I mean, I was talking about Trump's verdict. They don't want us talking. 3 people here, and they shut us down. This is how dangerous we are to them. Why do you think they're doing this to Trump? If they thought Biden was going to win in a landslide, the most popular president ever, do you think they'd be doing this to him? I mean, it's frustrating. I served my country as a Marine. And the way, now I'm a domestic extremist. Yeah, they're afraid. Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos, maybe not Elon Musk so bad, these rich billionaires that are surrounded by security are scared of what comes out of my mouth. Do you think I'm scared of what comes out of their mouth? What makes me look smart is if I was in a room full of liberals. That'd make me look like a genius. I love it when they talk. Anyway, okay. I was back to the 34 counts against Trump in I can't remember where I left off there. But anyway, whatever. And the jury, really, we got the president for the first time ever on trial. And it didn't even take you a day to deliberate. Really. I mean, did you come back guilty because you were told to, because you were afraid of your families, because somebody showed up with a file and threw it down on your table? Were you afraid there were going to be riots? Because you obviously weren't afraid of your future being totally destroyed. Mockery. I'll get into it, but a mockery of the judicial system. I mean, do you honestly think that I'm going to be taken alive by the FBI? Think I'm that stupid? When I was in the Marine Corps, I always promised to save the last shell for myself. There was no way I was going to be taken by terrorists. No way. They like Black and Decker way too much. I mean, you're going to die anyway. Why be tortured to death? But anyway, I guess they're going to have sentencing in July. I think it was July 9th or something like that, just a couple of days before the Republican convention, which is no big deal. Who cares? Okay? Who cares? The people are behind them. I'm not a mega, I'm a patriot mega person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a Republican mega person. I don't even say I'm a Trump mega person. I'm a patriot, make America great again person. Okay, that's what I am. But anyway, Yeah, sentencing's in July. Just another thing for they're going to try to get us all upset. See, they need us to react. They need us to go to the streets like their side did in 2020. Okay. That for their side won't happen until after Trump wins the election. They need us to do it. They need us to get out there and act all crazy so they can cancel the election because we're a bunch of sadistic morons. Okay. You lose your cool in a firefight, you die. You gotta sit there and think clearly through everything. So, this trial. What's it bring to me? And I'm saying DAs from both sides. Okay, we know this DA was corrupt as can be. Went after Trump just because he wanted to go after Trump because he's a Trump hater. So how many little guys and gals like me and you are sitting in prison right now or county lockup because the DA had, just wanted to get you, ruin your life. And don't tell me it ain't happening. After this, I can say it's happening. If it happened on the grand scale, it's happening a lot on the little scale by Democrat prosecutors and Republican prosecutors using their position to get over on the American citizen. Prove me wrong that that's not happening on both sides because both sides are corrupt. That's one thing I don't like about Trump is a Republican sign on him. He's an American. Okay? He's an American. And that's one thing this trial brought out. He showed us that he's just like a guy, just like me and you. Just like a man, if you're your wife, a man that comes home to you after a hard day's work, especially his days. When you got half the world against you all the time. Can you imagine what his poor wife goes through? But anyway, he's just a regular guy like us. Okay? And, he's just trying to help America out. Yeah, he's rich. Who cares? It's his destiny. Frankly, I don't see the old joy in being rich. I'm pretty happy just the way I am. But, everybody found out he's just a guy. He puts his pants on one leg at a time. And he's standing up for us. We really need to make sure we support him 100%. So support his campaign, stuff like that. But anyway, and then, what's the world think of this? Well, if there were any doubts about a banana republic, we are obviously a banana republic, okay? Without a doubt, all right? The only thing that keeps them from gaining complete control is what? The Second Amendment. So, plus also the biggest civilian military in the world that knows what we got between our legs. Okay. But, if you were a world leader and you had to deal with Joe Biden, like, why should Putin even attempt to try to make peace with the West when you got that moron in France, Macron? Okay, Germany, I don't even know who's in charge there. The U.S., personally, you have to deal with Biden. I mean, if you were even a halfway intelligent thinking man, why would you sit on the other side of the table with them? Especially when, they probably set you up a place where they could arrest you and throw you in jail. Criminals running the system. Anyway, you know, one thing that scares me, to be honest with you, with all this, and the world needs to be scared too. Okay, we got maniacs and lunatics in charge of our country. And sad to say, us patriots won't fix the problem yet. But if you were in Russia or China or North Korea, seeing what we see every day with our leaders, knowing that they got one hell of a nuclear arsenal, wouldn't you be just a tad bit apprehensive? Just imagine if you had a neighbor that, you always kind of had to look over your shoulder, especially when they were outside close to your side of the fence. See, that's what's going on. Jojo, I like that. Recently had an underground bunker built in Delaware property. Well, good. I hope they all go to bunkers because people will know where they're at. And the people that know where they're at will simply, a bunker is just a big coffin, people. That's all a bunker is. If you're famous. Now, if you're somebody who's not famous, lives off the grid, nobody really knows you, it's hidden someplace real good, it's a good thing for you. But Mark Zuckerberg, you can have a whole island, dude. It don't matter. People know where it's at. You got to have a ventilation system. Who was it? Hitler's armament minister, Speer, was thinking, I believe it was in March, early March, he was thinking about, coming up a deal to drop gas into the ventilation system of the bunker to kill them all. Okay? It can be done. Like I say, I want them all to run to their bunkers. I can't wait because then they're sitting ducks. That's one reason I'm a lone wolf. I move like an Indian. The only times the Indians got conquered is when they stopped moving. But anyway, the world leaders too, they're not only looking at our government, they're looking at us. They're looking at us that we really need to do something about this. They know American history. They know about the Revolution. They know about George Washington and Ben Franklin and Thomas Jefferson. They know all this history. They know about the covered wagons and Manifest Destiny and stuff. The spirit of America. But we don't have it no more. And the thing is, when our country starts affecting their lifestyle, like now, where all these countries, including the U.S. started yesterday, and now it's Germany, basically all Europe. If you're given a weapon to Ukraine that can be used in an offensive manner inside Russia's territory, go for it. Now, I don't know if everybody remembers Russia's threat about taking out command centers. Russians don't say something that they don't mean. In our governments basically talk about their annihilation, putting Putin in jail. What other choice do they have? Kind of like the American person. What other choice do they have? FBI comes to this door. I know they're here with a lethal weapon warrant, and I'm not being taken prisoner. Not arrested. Okay, that's not what it's called anymore. It's being taken prisoner. Okay? It's not going to happen. But anyway, I got more to come. Okay. Carol, you asked about Hillary Clinton. Well, she'll be the first one. The justice system. Okay, all this that Trump went through because his kiss ass attorney, who's trying to make brownie points, pays off a porn star, doesn't tell him about it, basically holds it. You know what this is like? Ever see the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy? And those lawyers were trying to sit there. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not the movie. I'm sorry. Brewster's Millions with Richard Pryor, where he inherits that money and he either's got to spend $30 million in a month and have zero assets, and he gets 300 million, or he gets 100 million as a whip clause, and he takes the 300 million. So he's got to spend $30 million in a month and can't have no assets. And if he does have any assets, then the law firm gets the money. Well, so these lawyers cock up this thing. So at the end, when he thinks he doesn't have any assets, oh yeah, he's got, I think it was furniture and stuff. That's what they're doing. They're setting it up. Anyway, the justice system. Let's start with Joe Biden. Okay. He'd done a lot of things wrong, but let's just go into some of the stuff we know about. Not the stuff like we have organized the most exclusive and extensive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Let's not go on that 2 weeks before the election, okay? No, you just created the most votes that don't exist. Anyway, let's not forget classified material, okay? They raid Trump's Mar-a-Lago setup he's got there. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, and do all that hoorah, get the old press involved, get everybody's blood worked up, get the old liberals just, oh, I love all this stuff. And then, yeah, I know, I'm getting to Hillary. Carol, you don't like Hillary very much, huh? Anyway, and then JoJo's got classified information stored in his garage next to his Corvette from when he was senator, even. So it's been in there for, it could have been decades. Let's not even go into that, okay? You know, I had a security clearance when I was in the Marine Corps, handling classified information. Now, I know the ins and outs. We got read about that stuff and what happens to you if you did what she did. Anyway, I mean, just the stuff I worked on, the theory of operation behind it was classified. How it ran. Okay, you know, it's not just like you have documents you read and stuff. I mean, anyway, so classified information just sitting out there. Okay, you know, and I'm sure when they came to his garage, they didn't have a lethal, deadly force use on their warrant, and they did come in there with their guns drawn and stuff. And I think what was it, in the early morning too, wasn't it? Okay, no charges, nothing, you know. And then let's not forget, I don't remember her name, but the rape of his aide in 1996. I wonder if he hung out with Ted Kennedy a lot in restaurants. A lot of stories I heard about him in restaurants. So, you know, raped a woman, gets away with it. You know, whatever. And then let's not forget about 10% for the big guy. Okay? They're selling our country out and they're making money at it. 10% for the big guy. Anyway. And then The committee, I don't know if you've seen the video, Carol, or anybody, that when they were on stage with the Committee of Foreign Relations, I believe, and they were talking about when he was vice president and he went over to Ukraine and they were investigating his son and stuff. And he told them that they had 1 hour. I think he was leaving or whatever, and said, by the time I leave, and they fired the prosecutor. Yeah. And they fired the prosecutor, and they were trying to get Trump for quid pro quo. And then I see this video, whatever. I can't remember what the what they tried to accuse Trump. See, they say Trump says something, and they make this fantasy up in their head, kind of like the lawyer, the prosecutor, was allowed in his closing statements. And I don't know how this was allowed. A closing statement can only be based on what evidence was brought into court, what the jury had already heard. Okay, so I don't know how this was allowed. I know this is a tangent, but he was allowed to give a 96, what he, recreation of what he thought a phone call between Cohen and Trump that never happened was like. Interfering with, it doesn't matter. The jury was already bought and paid for. But I don't know much about law, but I know a few things, okay? And I can't believe that was allowed in. Okay, that was a tangent I went on. All right. But yeah, fire the Ukrainian prosecutor. Okay. And then Hunter Biden, sitting in that boardroom as a board member. And all of a sudden the phone rings. Oh, it's the big guy. He wants to talk to you. We're all supposed to play stupid. Yes. And then there's Hillary Clinton. Here we go, Carol. Do you not like that she called you deplorable? Don't you love it that the only thing a liberal can do, these Democrats, and I get these comments on YouTube all the time. They want to shut me up, right? But I got people there that insult me beyond belief. I had one that insulted my mother and threatened my life, threatened me with physical harm. And they're allowed to do that. Okay? But I can't even, if I want to tell the truth on YouTube, that's something else. Okay? But that's what these liberals, name calling. You know why they go to that? Because they're insecure with themselves. Okay? And what people say about them affects them in ways that makes them go crazy. People like you and I, we're confident with ourselves. We're happy with ourselves. We like ourselves. And we don't care if somebody doesn't like the way we do something, like the way we walk, whatever, or like the way we think. We like ourselves. Okay? And that's why name calling doesn't bother us. It goes in one ear and out the other. But with those people that don't like themselves, woo! You threw a piece of dynamite at them, you microaggressioned them, and it's just no, Carol. I know this is what I'm saying. They're just giving us so many reasons to get upset. And I'm not saying there isn't. But we need to channel that anger into productive actions. Okay? And I'll get into those here in a little bit. Believe me, I wish JoJo would ask to take me behind the gym. Not the woodshed with him, I guess. It's the gym. I'm not sure if we're leaving the women's locker room or the men's locker room. I'm not sure about that. But I would love for him to say that to me. I would drag him out there. Anyway, I'm just, believe me, I don't know if you see I saw that message on my short. like I say, I was upset. It's the verdict sucks, but it's a losing of our country that we obviously see now. Okay, and I'll get into that what we need to do. Okay, but unless we do the proper actions about it, we're just going to get more upset. Like I said, I saw this coming for 30 years, and I complained, and I prepped. Okay, I tried talking to other people, but when I was dealing with it with 30, and my ex-wife can contest to this, and her family, they all thought I was nuts. I mean, I couldn't even imagine some of the stuff that's going on now, but with the losing our rights and the government taking control, they all thought I was nuts. But now we're here. Okay, it's a losing of our country. When you get older, you reminisce about the past a lot. Like I guess if you want to call it my happy place, is Plum Creek Park by Walnut Grove, Minnesota. I've always liked there. I've been going there for over 50 years, and that's where I plan. Anyway, I don't plan on staying where I'm at the whole time. So, and then we got Hunter, okay? His laptop. Where'd you go with Hunter? But at least Hunter still has issues with buying the gun, okay? The most minuscule crime they can get him for, okay? And then, then their relatives. Paul Pelosi. Hammer time. Okay? They're all allowed to get away with this stuff. And the thing is, we all look at what, he's painting at 2 o'clock in the morning in his underwear with transvestite gay guy. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall there. You know why? Because I don't want to know what's going on. Seeing enough of it on the news bad enough for me. Okay. By the way, Paul Pelosi. What was that? Him getting DWI and stuff. Okay. All right. One thing, though, I think they've done, with this two-tier judicial system that everybody's seeing now, like I say, they can't see nothing that a Democrats has done. And that's, we were on Hillary, right? I'm sorry. Okay. Where was I? I skipped a part here. All right. Yeah, Hillary. All right. Remember, James Comey came out and say what the classified server that Hillary had, that she didn't mean to do it. I wonder if Hillary would have been charged with, or they would have wanted her for murder if she didn't mean to kill somebody, if they would have charged her. Well, her servers did kill people. Okay. American operatives, foreign operatives. That's one thing about a politician, especially in America. You make a decision, especially a bad one, it's probably going to cost somebody's life. About cocaine. Oh, yeah. I forgot about Hunter Biden and the cocaine. That's one thing that I've been in the White House. Okay. Every inch of that place is filmed 24 hours a day, except where the cocaine was found, yes. Except the bedroom and stuff like that. But the kitchen, the dining area, okay, all that. Always watched. I mean, you go into Walmart, you're always watched. And they're going to tell me that they don't know who did it. And then it just gets dropped. That's a national security issue. This is one thing about knowing some of this stuff. Reading through the lies. Sometimes I hate knowing what I know. But whatever. Yeah, lies. I'll tell you one time, Carol, what we were doing, what was going on, we were overseas. In Time magazine, it was on the cover. And let's just say it wasn't a true story. That's when I knew. Anyway, but yeah. We got the criminals in charge. What did Hillary call herself in the 2016 election? What kind of progressive? Was the term she used? Not old-fashioned progressive, but something like that. Okay? She's communist. I think a lot about the McCarthy era. He was right. Imagine if it could been stopped back then. Anyway, but with all this two-tier justice system, this sham of a trial, it's waking the American people up. Okay, I really do believe the Democrats have overplayed their hand this time, but they're going to continue to do it. They think they won, okay, and they're going to keep punching him hard with this sentencing. Okay, I don't know what kind of sentence he's going to get. It's just going to be another battle in the war that we have to fight to win our freedom and independence back. Okay, just another battle. But they overplayed their hand. People have had enough. This is a spectacle. We are being embarrassed worldwide over this. Okay, America the Great. Really? If you were in Russia right now kicking Ukraine's ass and NATO's ass, I might add, okay, would you, I don't know, have had enough? Can't believe they're allowing us to use our long-range missiles for offensive capabilities. Like I say, I hope all the generals and stuff remember, and the politicians remember what he said about command centers. But, and another thing, this is exposed the Democrats for what they are. I mean, they obviously have some people believing it, which is fine, okay? Not everybody's has had enough yet. Even Robert De Niro hasn't had enough yet, okay? But believe me, the time's coming when he has, okay? But it's exposed them for what they are. A bunch of godless, worthless, demonic-filled, if you want to call them human beings, okay? Full of hate, just like the devil. Full of jealousy. Okay. I mean, I still have them jealous of me and I have nothing. Oh, I like myself. That's why. Okay. Okay. Also, did you hear about when I say they overplayed their hand? Last night, his website page for donations crashed because they had so many people donating. Right now I'm buying a truck, so I got most of my money's going to that. And that's done in July. But in July, August, September, and October, I plan on sending him. I'm not going to send big one lump sum. I'm going to send him $100 a month. It's a little bit I can do. Like you say, I'm out here on YouTube trying to do something. I got to do more. The more they push, the more I feel I want to do. I don't mean in a violent way. I mean, all I got to do is speak the truth. And that's enough to sit there and set them off. Let them bring the violence to me, and then I can respond to that. Anyway, yep. And then Trump's getting support from everybody. Look at the Bronx. Look at the YouTube videos, the Latinos, the blacks. Okay? Everybody's had enough. They're broke. The only ones that are making out on the tax money we pay is people that aren't even citizens of this country. You know, New York State convicts Trump of bullcrap charges, made up retarded stuff. And somebody, if you leave your home for a couple of weeks, somebody's allowed to take it over and you get arrested if you want them removed. It doesn't sound like a safe state to be in. Okay, advice from the Lone Wolf Prepper. You know, if you're in upstate New York or whatever, where you know that you're surrounded by like-minded people, okay, then that's where to be safe. They're not going to go anywhere where there isn't a Starbucks within 30 miles, okay? But anyway, he's getting support from everybody, okay? And whatever the reason is, we all start to see the sham. And it's human nature to want to stand up for the guy that's getting beat on, okay? Especially unjustly. It's going to backfire on him. So, let's talk about what they have done to Trump since 2016, should we? That's a pretty long list, and I don't even got the whole list. Anyway, I'm sorry my notes are mixed up here. There's a lot to talk about. All right. Okay. All right. Come on, Tom. First, what's next? Okay. Now, I firmly believe the Democrats are not going to give up power. Even if Trump is elected, they won't certify him this time. Okay? They will not allow him. They may let him win the election, but they're not going to allow him to become president of whatever country the name of the country is we live in now. Okay? So, I believe that, you know, when the time is right, Trump needs to make a speech saying that how he's the lead of the next, we want to call it a revolution, movement to reinstate our country and our Constitution. Okay? This is what's going to come down to. Elections aren't going to work. Okay? I want everybody to know that. This election isn't going to fix anything. It's just going to make our problems more prominent and people more upset, and violence is going to happen. Okay? All right. But one thing, they ain't going to give up power. All right. They won't give up power. There's no way they're going to give up power. They can't. Can you imagine Trump gets in there and starts spilling to the public what they've been doing the last 4 years? Anyway, first thing we need to do, Trump needs to sit there and say he's going to be lead of a new movement, a revolution, a George Washington figure, okay? That's what us patriots need. The George Washington figure. That's what bonded all the people of the colonies. All the 13 different, everybody was different, but they bonded together, okay? Under one cause and under one man, all right? Okay, we need to organize into our militias. I know I'm talking military here, okay? And there's a lot of us vets out here, and you know what I'm talking about. Your fire team, you've got friends. I don't care if they're, when this war comes, your old fire team mate that's friend, buddy, that's 2,000 miles away, maybe in the same foxhole with you again, okay? But we need to get into our fire teams and then make our squads, in our platoons, in our companies, in our battalions, in our regiments, in our divisions. Okay? In a military aspect, we need to start creating from the small and create up instead of going to division down. Start from the fire team and build up. Okay? Believe me, you'll know all your men then if you do that. Right? Another way we need to organize in, not in a militia type, but community organization needs to happen again. Okay? Against crime, against all criminals. And there's not much difference between them and the federal government now, is there? Okay. Organized watches. Okay. For these neighborhoods. I mean, it's coming down to where we're going to have to use the Second Amendment. They're not going to stop. Okay. And I'm going to keep saying that. Because you got to be in the right state of mind. Because it seems like their side is, and our side isn't. They're ready to kill us by any means necessary. Are you just going to walk into the showers with the Second Amendment? Anyway, and then, okay, that's neighborhood watches and the militia to form the military is going to take on who we got to take on. And that's not the who we're going to take on. A few tens of thousands FBI agents and ATF agents. That ain't going to last long. Okay? I guess liberal state police, but even if they brought the whole military back, there's not enough to beat us Americans. Okay? So, we also need to create support lines, if you want to call them supply lines. There's going to be stuff that bandages. I mean, all our prep supplies. A lot of it's going to be used. Okay. Good thing we're preppers. I mean, we may have to help other people out, or a platoon comes by and that are fighting for our cause. You may end up having to feed them. We're all in this together. Okay. 15% supported the revolution, 5% fought. All right. So I don't know what this one's going to look like, but support's going to be really important. Okay. Because we're so spread out, a lot more spread out. I mean, we're more mobile, but they take gas from us. But the harder they make it on us is the harder they make it on themselves. Okay? So we need to organize into our groups, organize our neighborhoods. Okay. Now, another thing we need to do is stop complying with the federal government. Okay? Stop listening to them. I never followed one rule in COVID. I never got arrested. I lived in a liberal state and it never even bothered me. Okay. Well, I'm hearing about these other people getting thrown down and stuff. I was hoping for that to happen to me. But I never did. Okay. I was bucking for a fight then, but see, I'm going to let them come to me. Okay. But stop listening to them. Would you listen to somebody that told you to go play in the street? I don't think so. So stop complying. The federal government is not your God. Okay? And to stop complying, you got to not be dependent on the federal government for anything. Not for financial support, not for drugs, not for nothing, medical support, nothing. If you don't rely on them for a single thing, they have absolutely no control over you. Once you let Dracula into your house, you'll never get rid of him. Okay? Never. Oh, I gotta speed this up a little bit. There's just so much to talk about. This country's changing so much. Okay, so many thoughts going through my head. I could probably spend 6 hours just on this. But I know the retention goes down. But, anyway, okay. And, on these neighborhood watches, don't let the feds into your neighborhood, okay? When they come to arrest your neighbor, it's not to arrest him, it's to shoot him down at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's what these neighborhood watches need to be for. So all of a sudden, it's like the Lexington Concord moment. The British are coming, the federal government's coming, everybody comes, gets their Second Amendment tools out and surrounds them. Okay? We need to stand up for our neighbors along with ourselves. Can't let them get pushed around. When they know they're not alone, then they'll join us, okay? Because I guarantee you, a lot of people are just following the Democrats because it's a new wave to follow. Okay, I'm gonna put this on my wish list because I have a video out there that I did when I first started YouTube and stuff, talking about solving the problem. We're paying for this. So my wish list is everybody would stop paying all types of federal taxes. If they have no money, they can't operate. They kind of dissolve themselves, right? That'll never happen. But I'm just saying that's one way to do it. Be no violence either. Okay. You know why we had the Lexington Concord moment? This is what this all's leading to, with the feds coming and them pushing us and getting us angry and stuff. They're trying for us to start the Lexington Concord moment. No. The Lexington Concord moment happened because the British were marching down the road to seize the Patriots' weapons. Okay? And the colonists stopped them from them doing what they wanted to do. That's what started the revolution. We finally stood up to the British and said, no more. And that time is fast approaching. If it don't happen before the election, it's definitely going to happen after. Because this country's split. There's no way to fix it until we start shooting at each other. Just like the Civil War had to happen to heal the country. Okay? This war has to happen. The thing with the Civil War, why we're going to have a revolution. The Civil War was the South breaking away from the Union to become its own country. We are not trying to become our own country and give the liberals half and us half, okay? We are trying to regain our country and bring back our constitutional republic, okay? Just like the communists in this country are having a revolution right now, trying to get rid of our constitutional republic. Understand the difference? Okay. When this all starts, we all got to stay true to our Constitution, our country, and our fellow American patriots. No matter how hard it gets, we have to stay true to them, okay? And things are going to get rough. But remember, for the future, when I say stay true to it, stay true to your kids. If you got to fight in that, don't think of yourself. Think of why you're there and who you're helping because you're there. All right? That'll help you maintain control if you're not thinking of yourself, thinking of the bigger purpose, okay? So, anyway, and then, we have father said. Our founding fathers knew that one day this was going to come in our country. Thomas Jefferson thought it was going to come every 20 years. But the time has come again where we are going to have to water the tree of liberty with the blood of patriots and tyrants again. If we want to remain free. If we don't, then just put your head in the sand and become a slave. So, the Declaration of Independence says it all for us. It tells us that men are free. Okay? Men don't have to be pushed around by a single entity, whether it be a government or a king. Man has a right to pursue his dreams as long as it doesn't interfere with another man's dreams. That's what made this country great. People coming here with a dream to make something of themselves without the chains of European monarchs on them. What's the American dream now? How fast can I get on the welfare system? Anyway. So, yeah, there's lots of, like-minded folks, Carol. There's lots of us out there. You may just not be in an area that's all. See, I live in an area where everybody thinks the same, but it's a very remote area. Like, say, one person for every 20 square miles. One thing, a liberal, I'd never have to worry about them coming out here because I think the closest Starbucks is probably 300 miles away, okay? And all the towns around here are, well, they're small. There's, very small, few hundred people, and they're old. Okay, this was a lot of these towns, they were built during the Old West and stuff, and and then when people started moving out of them in the 70s and 80s, they just stopped. I don't know. The towns just don't have the money like a big city does. Okay. And then the road I live on, okay, once if they even made it 5 miles up that road, they'd realize they were in the wrong place. So I'm safe out here. They ain't going to come out here to bother us because we're not a challenge. We're too hard for them to handle. See, this is the whole thing. If they want to take control, they have to get rid of us somehow. Whether it be a war or whether it be some medical, we'll say new pandemic. I suppose we're going to have a new pandemic every 4 years now. Or, the newest way to cure the pandemic, any way to get rid of the population. These people are sick. I mean, what creates a child to think like this? I was having a scary thought today. Now I'm going to close on this. Okay. Don't want to give you nightmares, but this is my scary thought. What happens if Trump if Biden is announced as a winner like last time, and we do nothing about it, and we have another 4 years of that corpse that they're going to keep alive, imagine 2028. What kind of choice we're going to have then? Okay. Kamala Harris versus, or Governor Newsom against Nikki Haley. Our time is running out. Okay. They are forcing this upon us. And we have to do something. We can't survive another 4 years like this. Okay. If Trump is installed as president, I made a video about all what needs to be done. Okay. And he needs to do it. No matter how anybody feels about it, he's got a job to do. It's written in the Constitution what his job is. And among other things, you need, I'm not even going to about lobbyists and all this other things. So I still believe that the only way it's going to fix this is the 1776 movement. And that's what this channel's here for. Okay? For us to come and organize and talk. That's the thing. Talk to your neighbor. Discuss things with your neighbor, what's going on. Okay? Even if they don't agree with you, explain to them that we're still on the same ship that is sinking. Okay? It don't matter what your beliefs are. Okay? They're going to ruin your life just as much as they're going to ruin mine. Because eventually, every American will be in their way. You realize that, right? So, anyway, everybody just try to keep a level head. Just one battle in a war that we have to fight. But we have to fight it. Whether your participation be with the high-speed kinetic exchange of ideas or bandaging the ones that, might got hurt from that. We live in historic times. No longer the time to put our head in the sand. Believe me, at this point in my life, I did not want this. I never dreamed of it. That one day I'd be using the skills that I learned in the Marine Corps to become a patriot and use it against my rogue government. But guess what? I'm here. All I know is 4 years from now in 2028, I want things to be at least starting to wrap up to where the enemies are being conquered. Okay? And get it down to history never forgets this. Anyway, it's been an emotional week. I heard Pinball got a little upset. I can't see the live, so they must have took it off, but I can't find it. Anytime you want to tell the truth. I try to get on here on YouTube and I don't swear, I don't show guns. I try to talk intelligent, try to be open-minded. But, I'm not going to be pushed around and I'm not going to be told how to live. And I'm not going to be told that the sky is green. And, and I'm not going to sit there and work anymore to pay for World War III. He's probably got a strike. Yeah. Well, no, I saw him on there. He had a couple videos out today, but I can't. I want to see the live after Prepper Nurse talked about it, and I couldn't find it. So I guess I didn't search hard enough or whatever. I would have loved to seen it. Kind of pinball the thing when he made that video about YouTubers. If you only have 20 views after so many years, why are you still on YouTube and stuff? I'll tell you that video pissed me off, but I didn't unsubscribe it. Okay, because he has the right to his opinion. But one thing that pinball needs to understand is, everybody's views as in Prepper Nation in the Prepper community has gone down. Live feed views have gone down. Okay, and when you're trying to start out in YouTube these days, especially being as honest and confrontational, if you want to call it that, as I am, and passionate as I am, they cover you up. When I get my videos and it's got 100% view rate and they won't sit there and put it on feed. Really? So, but the thing is, we all need to get on YouTube and start voicing our opinion, because this is it's no longer the churches where the revolution started with the ministers preaching about it, or the taverns where the guys hung out and they were talking about the revolution, or the community. Remember, the British had the law about not assembling more than 4 people or whatever it was. Well, this is the new way people assemble on social media. Okay? And they want to silence us. The algorithms, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm still growing. If the world was a peaceful place and our politicians weren't screwing us over, and it was just as tame and calm as it was 30 years ago, people would all think I was nuts like they were 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. People think I was nuts. Oh, that can't happen, what you're saying. No, it's far worse than that now. Okay? I want to go back to the day where nobody wants to listen to me again. Okay? Then I can live my happy little life, retire, enjoy my grandchildren, and not have to worry about their future, or my grandson having to go to school with 2 fluffies. Subject for a different day. Anyway, well, I'm sorry about what YouTube did to me, cut me off. Yeah, just whenever I get going, this is what they do. The CEOs will be held accountable for this. When this is all brought back, Trump better break up the social media platforms. He needs to break them up and put their execs in prison for violating our civil rights. And I don't even care about the money. Say I got a job, I make money. The channel gets big enough, let the advertisers pay for it. But people that had started making a living at this and started making their life on this, and YouTube did that to them, I don't know. To me, I think there should be a lawsuit, shouldn't there? That's messing with people's lives. Not only the freedom of speech, but messing with the people's lives. One thing you liberals don't understand. You can do one thing. Instead of trying to shut me up, just turn the channel. Okay? But if you guys get to take over, we're going to have one channel, aren't we? The government channel. That's even going to be worse than NPR is now. What do you think of that, Catherine? Anyway, like I say, I have gone over an hour and 10 minutes, and I could go for another 2 hours just on this. I don't want to get upset, but we have to have clear minds. Start organizing. Okay? The other side is organized. They've been organized for years. We're behind the 8 ball on this. Okay? So, anyway, I enjoy you coming. Yeah, we had more people at first. We still got a few. The channel's growing. Sure appreciate everybody that subscribed and stuff. You know, being a patriot's going to be called a bad thing. Trying to label us as crazies, and we're not the ones shooting schools up and reading books of sexual nature by drag queens to children. Stuff like that. Okay. But anyway, stay strong, everybody. It's about to be one hell of a summer. Good night, Carol. I appreciate you being a loyal subscriber. So, anyway, good night, all, and I'll see. Oh, one thing I want to say, Carol. The reason I wasn't on last Friday night is because I lost internet. That's why I went on Sunday. Anyway, we'll go on next Friday night again. Dukes of Hazzard Friday Night Live. You don't get much better than Hazzard County than that. What's going on in this country right now? Anyway, this Lone Wolf Prepper out.